This isn't over. EU warns it could still block Brexit trade deal as MEPs mock British MPs. Senior MEPs have vowed not to be hoodwinked into backing the Brexit trade deal like the British counterparts. The European Parliament's influential International Trade Committee said they would scrutinise each and every loose end in the UK-EU trade and cooperation agreement before giving it their sign-off. A special plenary is set to be held by MEPs around February 23 to finally vote on the Future Relationship Pact after it was agreed on Christmas Eve. They vowed to pore over the 1,200-page document and highlight any inconsistencies ahead of the ballot to rubber-stamp the pact. The zero tariff and quota agreement provisionally entered into force on January 1 but still doesn't have the full sign-off by the EU Parliament. Luxembourg MEP Christophe Hansen, a Brexit reporter on the committee, said the British government had deliberately run down the clock on the ratification process to secure concessions from the EU side. Mr. Hansen insisted this had meant MPs in the House of Commons had not been given sufficient time to properly scrutinise the Trade and Security Treaty. This was a strategy by the UK to get last-minute concessions, and not to have their parliament to have a proper say, he said. We would have preferred a proper ratification. Some MEPs on the Trade Committee were frustrated about the lack of deeper UK-EU cooperation on financial services or Britain's decision to quit the bloc's Erasmus student exchange scheme. But Mr. Hansen added, this was the first time we were organising a divorce, not a wedding as we usually do for trade agreements. Despite the tensions, the UK-EU agreement was welcomed as more satisfactory than expected by Green MEP Heidi Hautala. The pact was praised for the inclusion of provisions that keep Britain's access to the single market tied to maintaining high standards for environmental protection, climate change and workers' rights. In a speech today, European Council President Charles Michel stressed the deal was based on the UK continuing to follow the EU's rulebook. He said, on Brexit, we stood firm and unified, right from the beginning. Access to our single market of 450 million consumers is only possible by respecting our standards and the rules of the game.